Say for example, they had done the reverse now. Internet would rage. Imagine a fully black character.
Imagine they took like, I don't know, Fresh Prince and made him like Fresh Prince of Buckinghamshire or something.
Fresh Prince of Edinburgh.
Everyone would be mad.
I feel like if they're gonna put black people on TV more, it just still needs to make sense.
Yeah, of course. You can't just chuck someone in and then say, "Oh, you guys are in film, so you can't come in." You know what I mean? Because they'll try to throw it back on us, be like, "Oh, you guys are in. We put you in this. We put you in that." You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want those kind of handouts. Like, if the character's meant to be, and someone that's obviously like Afro-Caribbean, whatever, they're the part. Don't disregard them and then try to look for somebody else. Like, if they're right for it, put them there. If they deserve it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'll be watching TikTok and it'll just be a funny video. Then someone will stitch it and just say, I just think it's funny how the blah 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 the black people can't run in the rain. Like, it's like,
Have you seen that?
Like, there was basically a white woman like just having fun in the rain, and then this black woman comes on and she stitches it. She's like, oh, like, black people can't run in the rain, so why have you made this video?
She had a terrible hair.
And I was just like, please, like,
she was rattled.
Yeah, so I feel like,
you know, I was thinking it has something to do with swimming.
I thought it was hair. I think it's hair.
To this day, I don't really know why.
Do you think, like, especially as black people as well, do you think, like, you look at stuff sometimes and we kind of play the victim sometimes too much? Because I was thinking about it the other day, because obviously, like, when I'm doing what I'm doing and I'm listening to people and they're speaking, they have sometimes a lot of excuses and good reasons, but a lot of them is like, oh, because of this, because of that. And I'm looking at them like, I'm real. I wouldn't hire you, or I wouldn't, like, I would kind of give you the same reaction. Not just because of, like, race, you know what I'm saying? Like, so do you think sometimes we play victim too much, or is it justified because of the situations? What do you think?
I know some terrible employees that will say they got fired for being black.
Yeah, but one time you're coming late. Like. Okay, guys, welcome back to another episode of Echats. I have some new guests today.
Hi.
So let's introduce ourselves. My name is Julio. Today we have
Hakeem.
I'm Carell.
And I'm Antonia.
Okay, you guys make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We're going to be coming with more and more videos every week. But today we're going to be looking at an interesting trailer. Have you guys seen that Little Mermaid trailer?
Literally, I was watching it, I think, on the way here.
I haven't seen it yet.
Nah, it's interesting still. It's interesting.
I've seen it. It looks scary, but I've seen it. It's just dark. It should be blue and happy things.
Vibrant.
Well, we're going to get into that. Well, first of all, we're going to play a little clip of the trailer and get you guys live reactions. And after that, we'll just talk about our opinions on it.
Yeah.
And what this might mean for like, the future of film and TV and that.
So no more.
So someone could start the clip.
Open up, start, yeah?
Let's fast forward that.
Oh, is it?
I think that's enough. I think.
Why are you laughing?
I don't even know.
They shot it so she doesn't look that black earlier.
I want to see what we're talking about. We could stop that there. So, what do you guys think?
It's great, man. Yeah, it's good. Nah, I can't lie. Like, I was saying, like, the trailer itself, obviously, is nothing like most of it is nothing too special until you get to the end. And I didn't get to, like, see it first. I was just hearing the controversy about it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she's black, whatever. Like, what do you think about that? What do you think about that?
About the fact that she's black.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm not a big fan of it. I think sometimes
same,
it can be a
honest.
bit like, corny to like just swap races, swap genders, swap, especially classic characters. Do you know what I mean? For me, it's a bit forced.
Yeah, and you see, for me as well, it might sound bad, but it kind of seems like charity. It's kind of like,
it's like
because you can't maybe blur in certain things, we're gonna put this in just so you feel represented, kind of thing. Like I always say, if you want to feel represented, kind of like do it yourself.
That's what I feel like. I feel like it's a bit lazy as well on Disney's part. I feel like if you want to include black people and have representation, create your own stories. Do you know what I mean? That's why I think Princess and the Frog, like Tiana, was so iconic, because she's the first black princess. But Ariel is not a black princess. She's just Ariel. She's a white mermaid, and that's not going to change because you put a black person in that character. So that's my problem. Like, be original, be unique, give us some real representation that we can actually relate with.
So what, does anyone think like it's a good thing that they made her black?
I feel like it doesn't matter that she's black. I think the reason they're doing it is because it's a remake, so not like a reenactment, because a reenactment you have to keep it the same. A remake they can switch things up. So I think that's kind of like their defense to it. But at the same time, if they made a live action of Disney the Frog, I wouldn't be happy. So I feel like some things have to be kept in animation and have to be kept how they were. I feel like there's no need for a live action Disney and the Frog. And wasn't she white in the stories but black in the animation, I think? But I don't know if that's right or not.
I'm not sure, I don't mind the live action ones, I'll be real. But I kind of hear what you're saying. When they done Lion King, have you seen Lion King, the live action one?
I think so.
Yeah, like it's kind of a thing of where like it was okay, innit? Like it's not gonna beat the classics, but they're obviously trying to remake it. Like in terms of her being black, like as I said, like it's not like I mind heavily. It's just like, again, she's not black in the thing. Like even, do you remember when what was it? James Bond, the whole James Bond thing.
Yeah, I was even gonna bring that up. I wanted to ask, what do you guys think about like other things that they're trying to make the main character black now? Like you said, the James Bond thing. Even I said the next Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Well.
First the guy from Sex Education. Man. It's like it's just a thing of like don't force it kind of thing. If they're a black character, if they're supposed to be black, then be black. If they was white before, like. It's not really a point.
Like I feel like with Doctor Who, it's all right because I guess the Doctor always changes characters.
I don't think it's all right.
You don't think?
I just feel like Doctor Who's. This might sound mad, but it's like that character's a classic British. Like everyone has always been some, I don't know, eccentric, like nerdy white guy basically.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Say for example, they had done the reverse now. Internet would rage. Imagine a fully black character.
Imagine they took like, I don't know, Fresh Prince and made him like Fresh Prince of Buckinghamshire or something.
Fresh Prince of Edinburgh.
Everyone would be mad. So I do kind of get, because obviously with this, there's a lot of people saying like, not my Ariel, not my Ariel. And like lots of people are taking it the wrong way, thinking like, people are being racist. I don't think it's necessarily racism, but I think if you take a character that people have like grown up with and like they're actually fans of that character, to just change their look so much would be a bit like, what are you doing? Because if they took some characters that we grew up with and loved, we wouldn't be happy, and just change them, we wouldn't be happy.
Yeah. I'm curious if they're going to do anything with her being black. Like, is her Prince Charming going to be black or white? Probably white. Like, and Ariel in the story, her dad's like really authoritative. He protects her. So is he going to protect her like possibly a rich African dad would, or is he going to protect her just like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't even know how. Yeah,
I'm interested to see that as well. But, so what you guys think? You think like this thing about, the media and film and TV trying to enforce more inclusivity, do you feel like that's being taken too far these days?
Yeah, I feel like it's always kind of like what social media dictates. Yes, I say for example, they'll see stuff, it's not even just in the media, but they'll see it in sport and everything. They'll be like, oh, why isn't there a black version of this, and why isn't there a black version of that? You keep on using that kind of race card to kind of like get your foot in the door, it's just gonna kind of get less respect. They should be seeing the best actors, whatever, and if they happen to be black, then they're put in.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, a black person needs to be put there. Because I'll be real, there's certain things I've seen where there's the black person there, and another actor would have done a better job, and they're of a different color. Like, it's not even a hate. It's not even a hate thing, but it's true, isn't it? Like,
I hear what you're saying, but then it's like, how do you balance this with the fact that, and I don't know if you guys agree, don't you feel like there is still like high barriers to entry for black people trying to get into like the entertainment industry? So things like this is at the same time kind of what we need.
But who's the crew? Well, it's actually an animation, so wouldn't we have crew? But if it's it's sort of live action either way. But who is the crew? It could be like a mostly all white crew and just a black person. So that doesn't really make a difference for like us behind the camera.
That's a good point, actually. I think people need to consider, you know, including black people more. But I feel like they need to do it in the right way. Like, I don't think just, you know, oh, we need a black person, just scramble around and chuck someone in. Like, I feel like they need to be more like thoughtful with it. Like, where does this character fit in? Like, what stories can we create? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, not just, sometimes it feels a bit careless, like, oh, like just a quick token black person just to be there, just to show like we've got black people. But I feel like you can see right through it sometimes, and I feel like that makes it lose its effect. If it's like a black person is just there, just have a black person. Whereas when you have really well thought out black characters and storylines, like if you take Black Panther for example, no one can deny that that's a great film. Do you know what I mean? A great piece of content. So I think it's about how you do it.
So you feel like if they're gonna put black people on TV more, it just still needs to make sense.
Yeah, of course. You can't just chuck someone in and then say, oh, you guys are in film, so you can't complain. You know what I mean? Because they'll try to throw it back on us, be like, oh, you guys are in, we put you in this, we put you in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want those kind of handouts. Like, if the character's meant to be, and someone that's obviously like Afro-Caribbean, whatever, they're the part, don't disregard them and then try to look for somebody else. Like, if they're right for it, put them there. Like, they deserve it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I didn't notice, like, growing up, token black characters in TV shows. I kind of just, as a child, I did not notice that. I just saw a friend group and then the black girl that likes chicken or something. Yeah. And I didn't process that she's a token black character. And they never put any effort to, like, meet her family or anything. She's kind of just a token black best friend.
Yeah, I hear that.
But do you feel like growing up there was a lot of like black representation in TV?
To an extent, yeah. Like, obviously, like, the old sitcoms like Martin and them ones there. Like, for our people, like, when we want to do something, I'd say like it's in our hands to do it. You can't rely on, like, obviously you want to be able to break through in the industry. Like, don't get it twisted, but you have to show the change first. Like, even when I was doing my one, like, I had a mainly black cast, and not just because I wanted to have that, but representation for our people, that makes sense. If I need to get, for example, an Asian person in there, white person in there, I'm not gonna hesitate to. But again, it has to make sense. But in terms of like back in the day, yeah, like there's been shows, like classic sitcoms like Fresh Prince and everything. Again, there could have been more. I'll be honest with you. Like, in terms of when it comes to like Hollywood, BAFTAs and everything as well. But like, it's just like slow progression as well.
I feel like for me, like, I feel like I saw a decent amount of representation, because I'm thinking about, I used to watch Disney Channel, right? And I had my Ant Farm. We had the main character was black and like she was just cool. We had Shake It Up with Zendaya. We had That's So Raven. Even, do you remember? Did you guys watch Corey in the House? I loved that show. I loved Corey in the House. So I feel like there was a good sort of like, obviously they were the minority, but there were a good few shows like growing up. I think maybe more things like that need to be created.
So basically the conclusion is like we want more original shows. Like taking on the mantle of like, I don't know, basically being a main character that's always been white.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But when you think about like your favourite TV shows, would you say the main character tends to be black or white?
That's a good question, actually.
growing up, I didn't attach to a race really.
Yeah, that's how I feel as well. Like, I didn't notice it till I think recent, like, political events have made us, you know, focus more on the race of the characters. But when I was growing up, I didn't deep, this person is black. It was just like, I'm just watching a show that I like.
Yeah,
do you know what I
literally.
mean?
When I was banging Sweet Life of Zack and Cody,
Yeah.
I'm not thinking,
I love that
why
just
they
as
not
much.
black? Why they not
Yeah.
black? That kid's in there. I'm just watching it. I'm just having fun with it. You get me? Like, but I'll be honest. Like, I was deep in this, like, kind of like a couple months ago. Yeah, when I was watching a lot of these shows, it was a mad correlation, but I didn't like claim my like African side as much. I kind of
That is true as
when
well.
I was seeing names like, oh, it's mad, bro. I was seeing names like Chad Dillon Cooper. I was like, that name is sick.
I loved Chad Dillon Cooper.
Chad Dillon.
That was my first.
And I was thinking,
my
yeah, that
first
name,
love.
yeah, pushed everything. Obviously, like, but when you look at it now, it's like that's not our culture, but it was just a mad realization I had the other day from
Oh
literally.
yeah, that was Sonny the Chance, and that black guy, he had no backstory.
Yeah, the guy with the Neo hat. Nico, fam.
We knew nothing about him.
Like back in the day, the black characters they were just side characters.
He was just there, yeah.
Even in High School Musical, we had like Vanessa Hudgens.
Oh yeah, and then
Oh, the guy from Jump It.
what was the black?
Chad.
Chad, yeah.
Chad.
What was the black girl's name?
And
doing
There's a black. Oh
I
yeah.
thought you were going to ask her what was her name.
She had like
gonna say
5 to
Monique,
6
but that was Kim
lines.
Possible.
It was just support characters. Chad always helped Joy when he's crying and singing and stuff. The same with
He had Mr. Mosby. He probably had the most lines for something.
Yeah, Mr.
OG, man,
Mosby.
literally. Even in recess, bro, the basketball, remember?
Oh yeah.
The basketball kids. Everyone.
The fact that we keep saying, remember that.
Yeah. Do you
I
get it?
remember all the other names, but his name.
Nah, it's mad. Literally.
But there was something you were talking about that made me want to touch on a different topic. Like, do you feel like the way society's progressed, this generation kind of focuses on race too much? Like, back then, we were a bit more unaware of the fact that there's all these different races. And we didn't really see issues with that too much. But do you feel like, I don't know, maybe because of social media now, we're always constantly thinking, is there enough representation? Is there enough inclusivity? Like, and is it good? Is it bad? What do you think?
I think it's mostly positive for us anyway, because I can't lie, like even out, like just getting job stuff like that, people are taking a lot more initiative to like hire black people. So I think, you know, I'm never gonna complain about inclusivity, but I do think that, you know, sometimes it can take the fun out of things. Like sometimes, I don't know, I'll be watching TikTok and it'll just be a funny video, then someone will stitch it and just say, I just think it's funny how the blah 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 the black people can't run in the rain. Like, it's like,
Yeah, oh yeah,
have you
yeah, I
seen
seen
that one?
that.
Like, there was basically a white woman like just having fun in the rain, and then this black woman comes on and she stitches it. She's like, oh, like, you know, black people can't run in the rain, so why have you made this video?
She had a terrible
And I was just like, please, like,
she was rattled.
yeah. So I feel like
You know, I was thinking it has something to do with swimming.
I thought it was hair.
Oh,
I think it's hair.
you know, to this day I don't really know why, but I just think race conversations, you know, I feel like they should be focused on important things and not just
I agree.
overly used, because people are gonna stop taking us seriously if, like,
If
you know, if
have it,
you misuse
ready,
it every time. Oh, race, when there are still really like important issues going on. There's still, you know, systemic racism. There's still a lot of issues that need to be faced, and I feel like if we're constantly using the race card, everyone's just gonna get tired and be like,
If
do
I've
you know
got a
what I
question
mean?
lining up with that, yeah, it's a bit of a controversial one, yeah. I did warn you about this. Do you think, like, especially as black people as well, do you think like you look at stuff sometimes and we kind of play the victim sometimes too much? Yeah, like, because the thing about, I was thinking about it the other day, yeah, because obviously like when I'm doing what I'm doing and I'm listening to people and they're speaking, they have sometimes a lot of excuses and good reasons, yeah, but a lot of them is like, oh, because of this, because of that, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm real, I wouldn't hire you, or I wouldn't, like, I would kind of give you the same reaction, not just because of like race, you know what I'm saying? Like, so do you think sometimes we play victim too much, or is it justified because of the situations? What do you think?
I know some terrible employees that will say they got fired for being black.
Yeah, but more time you're coming late. Like, I can't lie. This might be an unpopular opinion. I definitely agree that there are times that people are just playing the black card, just victimizing themselves when realistically they need to take accountability. Like it's not every bad thing that happens to you, it just happened to you because you're black. And I feel like I don't know, it's like it's a way to just make you feel. So not for every black person, but I do feel like some people just do it to make themselves feel better about their life situation.
Yeah, of course.
And it's not good because at some point you might need to realize that some of the things you're experiencing in life is literally just because of the decisions you make.
Yeah,
literally, because the less accountability like you take in the short run, it's like, okay, it wasn't my fault. There's nothing I could do. But as you keep on going on, less and less accountability you take, you realize, well, like, why is nothing going my way? And then there's no one left to blame but yourself. And you're like, raw, like, it was me, kind of thing. Do you get it? I just think as long as you take accountability for everything that you can do, like, you can't, like, if it's now okay, so you've done everything you need to do, yeah, you got 99 out of 100, and the teacher's giving you a C or whatever, because that's when you get onto it. Yeah, that's mad. Yeah, but if you're doing everything in your power, but if you're not, and then blaming it, it's gonna seem like a weak argument, you know what I'm saying? And then it's not gonna be.
I feel like it's really about balance, because it is obviously more difficult as black people in almost every area of life, but I think there has to be a point where you question, is this because I'm black, or is this because, like as you said, I haven't worked hard enough?
Yeah, so when it comes to would you guys say there is a lack of representation right now of black people on TV? Or
no, I wouldn't say so.
I think, in my opinion anyway, I think there's a lack of certain types of representation and certain like stories, for example. So I think there's a lot of representation of like gang culture, for example. There's a lot of representation of like certain black lives and black kind of narratives, but I feel like the breadth of different types of black people and, you know, black personalities is underrepresented. Do you know what I mean?
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. Because even when I was like doing my film, like the character I played, I played a therapist in my film. Listen, hey, it was funny, innit? But it was a thing where I kind of done that because you don't really see too many like black therapists nowadays, and it's like obviously you had kind of the gang stuff in there as well, but it's kind of true. Like you want to see lawyers, you want to see doctors, you want to see like not just our avenue is music and gang or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? Like showing people that it's possible, because a lot of my friends grew up kind of thinking like that was kind of the only way to blow if he was doing acting or music or
that's
football.
very true.
You know what I'm saying? So
I have a pen pal in America, and I was talking to him a few weeks ago, and he was shocked to find out there's like Chinese, Korean, every people like that in the UK. I don't understand, and apparently that everyone thinks that. So I was talking to him, he's like, I never saw them on Top Boy. And he doesn't understand who I am. He's like, he sees me as a black female and assumes I'm like that. And I'm like, no, there's a lot of black people.
I definitely do feel like a lot of people learn about black British culture through like shows like Top Boy.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
And there's so much more to black people, and I think that's what's important when trying to think about inclusivity in like TV shows, not just one staple black character, like different types of storylines, you know, LGBT black people, like just different types of black people.
I can't lie, I'm gonna have to stop you guys there, because you know what's mad? That was supposed to be a topic for another episode.
No, is it?
part two coming.
Maybe I have to end this episode now, but if you guys want to see more on that topic, stay tuned, make sure you're subscribed. And yeah, that's a wrap, guys.
That's good stuff, that's good.
It was asked me, is it true Jamaicans have big bodies? I don't know. So I was talking to him about how a lot of people in America don't know where they come from. He's like, where are you from? I was like, half Nigerian, half Jamaican. He's like, do you have like a big body because you're Jamaican? I was like, it's not. I was like, you know, I'm the same black as you. I just know where I come from.
No, I didn't know.